Raskolnikov stood atop the snow-covered peak, his breath shallow and ragged from the climb. The cold was biting, but it couldn't compare to the chill that had gripped his soul for so long. The guilt of his crimes had weighed on him for what felt like an eternity, pushing him to this moment of final surrender. Here, at the edge of the world, he saw no other option but to let go, to fall into oblivion and escape the monstrous future he had helped create. Without hesitation, he stepped from the cliff, but instead of falling, he soared. At first, Raskolnikov was confused. His descent transformed into something miraculous. He floated weightless, as if the universe itself had decided to spare him from the punishment he had so long anticipated. The white landscape below blurred into a serene dreamscape as he flew, higher and higher, above the frozen world that had once been his prison. In time, he landed, not in death or destruction, but among the silent peaks of Tibet, where a group of monks awaited him. They welcomed him with open arms, seeing in him not a man broken by guilt, but someone who had touched the edge of despair and returned enlightened. For years, Raskolnikov lived among them, studying their ways, shedding his ego and desires. Each meditation brought him closer to understanding the true nature of selflessness, of purity. The burden of his past slowly began to lift, and with it, a realization. His life had been a terrible mistake, but it could still be redeemed. In the stillness of the monastery, he remembered the time machine, the shimmering door that had once led him to corruption and chaos. But now it represented a second chance. Raskolnikov knew he had to return, not to escape his fate, but to prevent the dark future from ever taking root. The crimes he had committed were irreversible, but the lives he had shattered could still be saved. Not by force, but by leading them to a path of truth, as he had found in the mountains. He re-entered the time machine with a pure heart, returning to the moment just before his transformation into the rock star and tyrant. This time, Raskolnikov chose not to wield power, but to live in humility. He began to teach, not of ego or domination, but of peace, love, and selflessness. His message spread like wildfire. Those who had once idolized him for his dark charisma now followed him for his wisdom and serenity. The hundreds he had once thought to destroy with his twisted influence now became his disciples, unlocking the power of unity, compassion, and understanding. Together, they built a new world, a utopia that no one had ever imagined. Through his teachings, they found not only personal peace, but a collective harmony that transcended greed and violence. The future, once destined for ruin, was transformed. Raskolnikov's selfless acts rippled through time, purging the sins of his past and shaping a future where the suffering of others was no longer tolerated. His disciples carried on his teachings, bringing light where there had once been only darkness. As he meditated in the temple he had helped build, Raskolnikov felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had transcended his past, not through power, but through the quiet strength of purity. The time machine was now a relic, forgotten and unnecessary in a world where love and understanding reigned supreme. He had created the world he had once thought impossible, a utopia born not from power, but from the simple act of choosing to live selflessly every single day.